Tiffany Trump has frequently been a mystery to the public. Having grown up in the shadow of one of America's most influential political families, she blazed her trail, avoiding politics and business until now, unlike her half-siblings. Tiffany has experienced a life of luxury, from her prestigious education to her well-publicized marriage. Yet there have been whispers regarding her connection to the Trump family. She's finally addressed something people have been speculating about for years at 31. Is she preferring to stay out of the spotlight or to distance herself from the Trump legacy? Come along as we reveal the real story of Tiffany Trump's trip. Early years and upbringing. Tiffany Ariana Trump was born in West Palm Beach, Florida, on October 13, 1993. She is the only child of Donald Trump and Marla Maples, his second wife. She was raised mainly by her mother in California after her parents divorced in 1999, far from the direct impact of the Trump family's New York-based business. Tiffany developed a sense of independence from the Trump brand due to her West Coast upbringing, which gave her a distinct viewpoint from her East Coast siblings. Despite the physical distance, she managed the difficulties of a bi-coastal life by keeping in touch with her father's side of the family. Her early years were characterized by a combination of privilege and the difficulties of belonging to a well-known family, which prepared her for future pursuits. Academic activities. Tiffany Trump's academic career demonstrates her dedication to forging her career outside of the political and economic circles of the Trump family. She studied sociology at the University of Pennsylvania and graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree focusing on law and society. In contrast to her siblings, who had a more substantial interest in business and real estate, her choice of study demonstrated a profound interest in legal frameworks and societal structures. Tiffany was determined to continue her education, so she enrolled at Georgetown University Law Center, where she graduated in 2020 with a Juris Doctor. Tiffany's career path indicated a strong interest in law and government, unlike her father, who amassed his empire through business dealings. She coincidentally attended Georgetown with Hunter Biden's daughter, Naomi, demonstrating the unexpected connections between political families. Even if she hasn't pursued a formal legal career, her education has influenced her perspective and equipped her with the skills necessary to act intelligently and gracefully in high-profile situations. Many people are curious whether she would continue concentrating on her personal and charitable activities or use her law degree. Media attention and public perception. Tiffany has been in the spotlight since she was a little child because she's a member of the Trump family. Tiffany has kept a modest public profile compared to her siblings, who play a more significant role in the family's political and commercial endeavors. This discretion has resulted from different public opinions. Some see her as the forgotten Trump child, while others value her attempts to live a quieter life. Her academic and professional accomplishments have occasionally been overshadowed by media attention that frequently focuses on her attendance at family gatherings, fashion choices, and personal milestones. Despite the scrutiny, Tiffany has handled the spotlight gracefully, sharing only some parts of her life and keeping some distance from the more contentious facets of the Trump family. Notice of pregnancy. Tiffany Trump made her pregnancy official at a campaign rally in Michigan in October 2024. Donald Trump enthusiastically informed his followers of the news. An important turning point in Tiffany and Michael Bolas's relationship was reached when this discovery instantly became the subject of public curiosity. Despite keeping their upcoming parenting mainly under wraps, the couple has occasionally shared hints about it on social media and at family get-togethers. Tiffany's pregnancy represents a change in her public persona, from socialite and law graduate to soon-to-be mother. In contrast to Ivanka Trump, who has often talked about her expectations as a parent in public, Tiffany has adopted a more taciturn stance. Insiders, however, disclose that she's been getting guidance on balancing her public and familial lives from her half-siblings, especially Ivanka. In Nigeria, where Michael's family has substantial business ties, Fans have conjectured as to whether her child will grow up in the United States or Nigeria. As Tiffany's due date draws near in early 2025, curiosity about how parenthood will affect her position within the well-known Trump family grows. Professional pursuits. Despite graduating from Georgetown Law with a Juris Doctor in 2020, Tiffany Trump has forged a distinctive career path that combines philanthropy, business, and law. Tiffany has chosen a more autonomous path, investigating changes in cyber law and technology policy. In contrast to her half-siblings who are heavily active with the Trump Organization, she's passionate about privacy rights and digital security, which were the focus of her legal studies. She and her husband, Michael Boulos, whose family has multi-million-dollar businesses in Nigeria, have been to international business forums in recent years. Tiffany has demonstrated a growing interest in philanthropic endeavors, endorsing programs for women's rights, education, and other causes in Africa. She's never formally joined her father's political party, but has made calculated appearances at pivotal events in the campaign, frequently supporting women in leadership roles and young professionals. It's interesting to note that because of her husband's connections, her legal experience has raised speculation about a potential diplomatic position in the future that could improve ties between the United States and the Middle East. Tiffany is directing her career on her terms, regardless of whether she formally enters politics or finds a place in international business. Presence on social media. Tiffany Trump has made a name for herself on social media, especially Instagram, where she posts a carefully chosen assortment of intimate and family-related moments. Tiffany's social media presence is more lifestyle and travel-focused than her more politically active half-siblings. It frequently showcases opulent vacations, high-profile events, and private photos taken with her husband, Michael. Whether it's a rare family get-together with the Trumps or a sight of her at Mar-a-Lago, her posts frequently pique interest among her more than 1 million followers. It's interesting to note that Tiffany was among the first members of her family to use social media before it became a significant political instrument. She belonged to the so-called Rich Kids of Instagram group in college and was regularly spotted with heiresses like Keira Kennedy and E.J. Johnson. Despite this glitzy persona, she's gradually changed her social media approach, moving toward a more refined and taciturn online persona. In a world where social media has the power to make or break public personalities, Tiffany's strategy combines regulated privacy with interaction, enabling her to preserve her distinct public persona. Connection to Ivanka Trump. Ivanka Trump and Tiffany Trump have a complex but loving relationship. Tiffany's been more subdued, but Ivanka has been central to the Trump family's political and commercial activities. According to reports, Tiffany has benefited from Ivanka's mentoring, especially in college and law school. Even though the media frequently depicts them as apart, Tiffany has openly admired her older sister. In response, Ivanka has posted instances of sisterly support on social media. However, their relationship was tested during Donald Trump's administration when Ivanka played a more direct role in government and Tiffany was more of a supporting cast member. Although there isn't a direct rivalry, insiders surmise that the sisters' divergent priorities and lifestyles inevitably cause some distancing. However, they still meet for essential family gatherings like Tiffany's wedding. Marla Maples' impact on Tiffany's life. Tiffany was raised in California by her mother, Marla Maples, in contrast to her half-siblings, primarily nurtured by Donald Trump. Tiffany's worldview was greatly influenced by Marla, a former model and actress who strongly emphasized independence, fitness, and spirituality. Marla's been quite proud of Tiffany's accomplishments in several interviews, especially her academic path. The mother and daughter have a strong relationship and are frequently spotted taking holistic health activities and going on vacation together. Tiffany's more reserved and calm demeanor, unlike the other Trump children's public and business-focused demeanor, clearly indicates Marla's influence. Although Tiffany honors her father's legacy, it's evident that her mother's upbringing was crucial to her growth as a self-reliant professional and thinker. Tiffany's contribution to the Trump administration. In contrast to Ivanka, Eric, and Donald Jr., who were heavily involved in business and politics throughout Donald Trump's presidency, Tiffany kept a low profile. However, she made several noteworthy appearances, including speaking at the 2020 and the 2016 Republican National Conventions. She addressed minorities and young voters in her remarks, defending her father's leadership and programs. She also participated in a few campaign events focusing on younger audiences. During her involvement, Tiffany mostly avoided the White House's political activities in favor of her Georgetown law studies. According to some political experts, she was purposely kept at a remove, maybe to maintain some distance from the most contentious elements of her father's leadership. In any case, her involvement in a few political gatherings demonstrated her readiness to provide for her family while continuing her path. Financial self-sufficiency and professional goals. Tiffany Trump has pursued her career path, unlike her older siblings, who have established jobs within the Trump organization. She has a Georgetown law degree and is interested in corporate governance, cybersecurity, and intellectual property law. According to some accounts, she may be considering a legal consulting or advisory career, even if she hasn't yet assumed a significant legal job. Tiffany has also experimented with modeling and music, releasing the song Like a Bird in 2011. Despite not pursuing a full-fledged music career, the experience showcased her creativity. Tiffany's family has helped her financially, but she's also stated that she wants to become self-sufficient. Her possible professional possibilities have been further expanded by her recent marriage to billionaire heir Michael Boulos, who has given her access to new commercial and financial opportunities. Tiffany and Donald Trump's relationship. For many years, there's been conjecture over Tiffany Trump's connection with her father. Tiffany remained more out of the spotlight than Ivanka, who was heavily involved in Donald Trump's political and commercial dealings. Tiffany was not raised in the same close-knit Trump family environment as her half-siblings. She was raised in California by her mother, Marla Maples. But as she became older, she tried to spend more time with her father, attending family gatherings and supporting him in his presidential bids. According to some accounts, Tiffany has a more minor position in the Trump Corporation due to Donald Trump frequently favoring his older children in commercial dealings. Despite this, Tiffany has always acknowledged her father's impact on her life and talked of him with respect. Although they seem to get along well in public, many people think their connection has stayed more formal than Trump's relationship with his other children. Politics' effect on Tiffany's life. Whether Tiffany wanted it or not, she was bound to be in the political spotlight as a member of the Trump family. Despite giving remarks at the 2020 and 2016 Republican National Conventions, she never had a significant role in the political operations of the Trump administration. Some conjectured that she was purposely kept out of the spotlight to protect her from the enormous media attention and scandals surrounding her father's reign. She received criticism from those who disagreed with Donald Trump's policies, some of whom questioned her support for him despite her minimal political activity. However, she also received support from young conservatives who viewed her as a more autonomous and accessible member of the Trump family. Tiffany has thus far stayed out of politics, preferring to concentrate on her personal and business lives. The union of Tiffany and Michael Boulos. In November 2022, Tiffany Trump married Michael Boulos, a billionaire heir from a wealthy Lebanese-Nigerian family. Despite hailing from entirely different backgrounds, they become one of the most talked about couples in elite social circles as soon as they started dating in 2018. Tiffany's life outside of the Trump brand has become more financially stable and independent thanks to Michael, who works in the family business in Nigeria. The whole Trump family attended their extravagant wedding, which took place at Mar-a-Lago. Many people think Tiffany's marriage was a significant turning point since it allowed her to put her family's political drama behind her and concentrate on her future with Michael. Since their union, Tiffany has adopted a quieter, family-focused lifestyle, and the couple seems to have a close relationship. Popularity and public perception. Regarding public opinion, Tiffany Trump has always been in a unique position. In contrast to Donald Jr. and Eric, who were actively involved in their father's campaigns, or Ivanka, who was viewed as a corporate and political figure, Tiffany frequently felt alienated from the public perception of her own family. The public responded in various ways. Some saw her as the forgotten Trump, while others valued her attempt to maintain her independence. Tiffany's popularity among young conservatives has improved over time, mainly due to her support of conservative principles and free expression. She has, meanwhile, also come under fire from people who believe she hasn't made any noteworthy contributions to public life and is only taking advantage of her father's money. Tiffany appears to have struck a balance in modern times, being active in affluent social circles but avoiding significant scandals. The position of Tiffany in high society. Tiffany's standing in high society has been further solidified by her marriage to a family of enormous fortune. Thanks to her association with Michael Boulos, she has access to elite circles and global economic networks in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa. Fashion displays, diplomatic meetings, and gatherings of billionaires are just a few of the exclusive events that Tiffany and Michael regularly attend. She now has options beyond the Trump brand thanks to her newfound social standing, which has helped her establish a reputation among world elites. Although she's always led an opulent lifestyle, her marriage has increased her stature in global socialite circles and broadened her influence outside the U.S. It's unclear if Tiffany will use this platform for business or charitable purposes, but for now she appears happy to take advantage of her higher position. After the White House, life. Tiffany Trump chose a different route from her more politically involved brothers and stepped back from the public life once her father's presidency ended in 2021. Tiffany concentrated on her personal life and marriage to Michael Boulos, while Ivanka and Jared Kushner remained prominent in conservative circles. The pair splits their time between the United States and other foreign locations, especially Nigeria and London, where Michael's family has significant business ties. Unlike other Trump family members, Tiffany has not explored business endeavors using the Trump brand or participated in any significant political activity since 2020. She occasionally goes to social events and family get-togethers, including her father's campaign launches and well-known weddings in the Trump family. Interestingly, those close to her indicate she's considering pursuing legal and philanthropic endeavors in international business law and technology. For the time being, Tiffany enjoys a degree of solitude that few members of her family have been able to preserve. However, it is unclear if she'll return to public life in a more prominent role. The bond between Tiffany and her half-siblings. The relationship between Tiffany Trump and her half-siblings, Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric, has always been exceptional. Tiffany grew up mainly on the West Coast with her mother, Marla Maples, in contrast to them who were brought up at the center of the Trump empire. She was less involved in the political and financial concerns of the Trump family as a result of their geographic and familial estrangement. Although Ivanka has openly declared her love for Tiffany and characterized their bond as solid, there are rumors that Tiffany frequently felt alienated. She's worked to strengthen her relationship with her siblings throughout the years, mainly while Donald Trump was president, and she's attended political and family events. She has, however, consistently followed a somewhat different path than the other Trump children due to her independent upbringing. Tiffany's legal experience and future goals. Tiffany Trump, who graduated from Georgetown University Law Center in 2020, decided to pursue a legal degree despite being the daughter of a billionaire. Although she hasn't made any public announcements about her intention to become a lawyer, her legal experience provides a solid basis should she decide to enter the business or political spheres. Given that her father was the subject of multiple lawsuits and investigations, some conjectured that her legal degree may help defend or assist the Trump family's legal matters. Others think Tiffany became a lawyer to establish her identity apart from her family's real estate and commercial holdings. Although she hasn't said much about her future ambitions for her employment thus far, Her law degree offers her many options if she chooses to play a more active part in the workplace. Tiffany's relationship with the LGBTQ+ community. Despite her father's divisive LGBTQ+ rights policies, Tiffany Trump shocked many by publicly interacting with the LGBTQ+ community throughout the 2020 presidential election. She spoke at a Trump Pride event, highlighting her support for inclusivity and equality. Some applauded this action, but others viewed it as an effort to appease a group of people who had mainly opposed Donald Trump's presidency. While her admirers praised her for at least recognizing the LGBTQ+ group, her detractors accused her of being disconnected from the actual challenges faced by LGBTQ+ people. However, Tiffany has not been actively engaged in advocacy work since her remarks demonstrated that she was prepared to adopt viewpoints that did not necessarily coincide with her father's. How Ivanka Trump and Tiffany are different. Tiffany and Ivanka Trump have diverse life experiences despite their frequent comparisons. Tiffany kept a far lower profile than Ivanka, who was heavily involved in her father's political and economic operations. While Tiffany concentrated more on her studies and personal life, Ivanka established a prosperous fashion line, served in the White House, and became one of Donald Trump's closest aides. Many people think that whereas Tiffany had to put in more effort to establish herself, Ivanka could obtain influential positions because of her close ties with her father. Despite their differences, the two sisters have remained friendly, and Ivanka even helped out at Tiffany's wedding. However, in the eyes of the public, Tiffany is frequently perceived as the Trump daughter who is more secretive and reticent. Tiffany Trump's treatment by the media. Compared to her more politically active siblings, Tiffany Trump has a complicated relationship with the media and is frequently overlooked. Because of their strong involvement in politics and business, Ivanka and Donald Jr. receive much media attention. At the same time, Tiffany took a different route and led a more secluded existence. Because of her decision, she has occasionally been called the Forgotten Trump, a moniker she's maintained despite her attempts to keep out of the political limelight. When Tiffany did make news, though, it was frequently scrutinized. Tabloids closely monitored her connections, public appearances, and sporadic remarks, portraying her as a relative outsider in the family. Although she was rarely a part of significant scandals, public opinion was influenced by the media's portrayal of her as less active in the Trump organization. Due to the decreased media coverage, Tiffany had more freedom to establish her personality. Still, she also faced the particular difficulty of being misinterpreted or undervalued in the eyes of the public. Although she may have chosen to avoid the spotlight, the media continued to monitor her every action closely. Her interests and philanthropic activities. Tiffany Trump has demonstrated a discreet interest in philanthropy despite growing up in an affluent and privileged environment. Tiffany is more of a quiet person than Ivanka, who's taken on international projects. She's participated in charity galas and given to causes that aid impoverished young children's welfare and education. Her participation in a fundraiser to assist children's education in Nigeria, a cause consistent with her husband Michael Boulis's heritage, was one of her more noteworthy contributions. She's also occasionally participated in activities supporting women's education and empowerment, especially for young girls hoping to pursue careers in law. Her charitable endeavors are unknown, but insiders believe she hopes to increase her participation in international organizations to start her foundation. She might concentrate on digital privacy efforts or legal assistance programs because of her legal expertise. Tiffany's potential as a humanitarian figure is still a fascinating part of her future, even though her initiatives may not be as well known as her father's corporate empire or her brother's endeavors. The public and private lives of Tiffany. Tiffany has purposefully avoided the full force of the public limelight, in contrast to the majority of the Trump family. Despite attending high-profile events like the Met Gala and Paris Fashion Week, she has not adopted the same media-heavy lifestyle as Donald Jr. or Ivanka. She's been able to live a more private life free from ongoing public scrutiny by choosing to avoid political criticism and family business affairs. This does not imply, however, that she's not been present in the media at all. Her lavish Mar-a-Lago wedding, connection with Michael Boulos, and sporadic appearances at Trump events have kept her name in the news. It's interesting to note that Tiffany has managed to strike a better balance between her privacy and her celebrity, even though she was born into one of the most well-known families in the world. She continues to be one of the more mysterious members of the Trump family, leaving the public in suspense about her future, while retaining a degree of autonomy that distinguishes her. Her plans for the future and what comes next. Tiffany Trump has a lot of chances ahead of her thanks to her Georgetown law degree and marriage to Michael Boulos, the millionaire heir. Although she's not sought a typical legal profession, some people theorize that she would apply her knowledge of business law to support her husband's family business, which have substantial holdings in luxury products and construction throughout the Middle East and Africa. Others think she should play a more diplomatic role, using philanthropy and business to improve ties between the United States and Nigeria. There have also been rumors that she's considering working in publishing or the media, using her insider legal and political expertise. Despite these options, Tiffany seems happy leading a modest life and deciding to prioritize her family for the time being. It's unclear if she will eventually choose a profession in public or if she'll continue to value her seclusion. Her connections and history, however, suggest that anything she decides to do will probably be anything but typical. Tiffany Trump's desire to leave her legacy. Tiffany has always been a bit of an outsider because she's the only Trump child, not brought up in the family leading political and economic circles. Thanks to this distance, she's established her identity apart from the potent Trump brand. She's established herself as an independent thinker by obtaining a law degree and marrying outside the American elite to join a family with ties worldwide. She's never had a strong political opinion, but her sporadic public appearances with her father show her devotion. She hasn't, however, adopted some of her siblings' combative political styles. Instead, she appears more concerned with her family, education, and personal fulfillment. It's still unclear if she will eventually take on a more visible position and use her legal knowledge and social connections to support a cause, or if she'll be one of the most mysterious characters in the Trump legacy. One thing's sure, Tiffany Trump's story is far from over, but only time will tell. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon